Have you ever wondered what is actually happening deep inside your neck right now? While you breathe, swallow, speak, and stay alive without even thinking about it, because beneath the skin of your neck is one of the most dangerously crowded and biologically important regions in the entire human body. And the deeper we go, the more unbelievable it becomes. Right under the surface, massive muscles called the sternocleidomastoid stretch down both sides of your neck. They look simple from the outside, but surgeons use them like landmarks. Because hidden underneath are structures so critical that damaging just one by a few millimeters could change your life instantly. Now look deeper. Running through your neck are the carotid arteries, giant blood vessels pumping oxygen directly into your brain every second. Miss just a few seconds of that blood flow, and consciousness begins to disappear, but right beside them is something even stranger. The internal jugular veins silently drain blood away from your brain, balancing pressure inside your skull every moment of your life. Arteries push life upward. Veins pull it back down. Both packed tightly beside each other in a space narrower than you think, and then, hidden between them, is one of the most powerful nerves in the human body, the vagus nerve. This single nerve helps control your heart rate, your breathing, your digestion, even your voice. One thin biological cable linking your brain to organs throughout your chest and abdomen. Damage it, and entire body systems begin to fail, but the deeper we go, the tighter the space becomes. Behind your airway sits the esophagus, a muscular tube collapsing and reopening every time you swallow. You never feel it happening. Yet hundreds of muscles coordinate perfectly just to move food safely downward, and directly in front of it is your trachea. Those rings around it are not decoration. They are rigid cartilage support stopping your airway from collapsing every time you inhale. Without them, breathing itself would become unstable, but wrapped around that airway is a gland most people never think about, the thyroid gland, small, soft, hidden. Yet it controls metabolism across almost every cell in your body through powerful hormones released into your bloodstream. Your temperature, energy, heart rate, and metabolism all depend on this structure sitting quietly in your neck, and now things start becoming even more complex. Behind all of this are the deep cervical muscles stabilizing your spine every second. Without them, your head could not stay upright. They constantly adjust tension and balance with microscopic precision while protecting one of the most vulnerable structures in your body, your spinal cord. Inside the cervical spine, millions of nerve fibers carry electrical signals between your brain and body at astonishing speed. Every movement, every sensation, every breath travels through this narrow protected pathway, and surrounding all of it is an invisible defense system, tiny cervical lymph nodes filtering dangerous microbes before infection spreads deeper into the body. They work silently every hour of every day, trapping bacteria, viruses, and damaged cells before you ever notice they exist. But now we reach one of the most crowded neurological intersections in the entire human body, the brachial plexus, a dense network of nerves emerging through the lower neck and branching into the arm. Every finger movement, every sensation in your hand, every muscle contraction in your shoulder depends on these nerve fibers squeezing through impossibly tight anatomical spaces, and those spaces are dangerous. The scalene muscles create narrow tunnels where nerves and blood vessels pass through gaps only millimeters wide. A tiny amount of swelling or compression here can trigger pain, numbness, weakness, or loss of circulation, but your neck is not only keeping you alive, it is also allowing you to communicate. Inside the larynx, delicate vocal folds vibrate hundreds of times per second to create speech. Air from your lungs becomes sound through microscopic muscular adjustments so precise that your voice can completely change emotion, tone, and meaning instantly, and every time you swallow. Another hidden structure saves your life, the epiglottis, a flexible flap rapidly sealing your airways so food enters the esophagus instead of your lungs. It happens so fast you never notice it. But if that timing fails for even a moment, choking becomes possible immediately. Now here is where the anatomy becomes even more shocking. Behind the thyroid gland sit four tiny structures called the parathyroid glands. They are incredibly small, but they regulate calcium levels essential for muscle contraction, nerve function, and even heartbeat stability. Without them, the body's electrical systems begin collapsing, and hidden even deeper is the sympathetic chain, a silent neurological network controlling automatic survival responses, heart rate changes, blood vessel constriction, pupil dilation, stress reactions. Your body constantly adjusts itself through signals traveling up and down this hidden pathway. But how do all these structures avoid becoming tangled chaos? Because the neck is organized into layers, sheets of connective tissue called cervical fascia separate muscles, vessels, nerves, glands, and organs into tightly controlled compartments. These facial planes guide movement, contain infections, and organize one of the most compact anatomical regions in the human body. Then there are the vertebral arteries. Unlike the carotids, these vessels climb upward through tiny holes inside the cervical vertebrae themselves, carrying blood to the brainstem, the region controlling breathing, heartbeat, and consciousness. And now we arrive at one of the strangest design features in human anatomy, the pharynx, a shared crossroads where both air and food briefly pass through the same confined space. Every swallow requires split-second coordination to stop food entering the airway. Your body performs this flawlessly thousands of times every day, but here is the terrifying part: the neck has almost no unused space. Even minor swelling, bleeding, or infection can compress the airway, blood vessels, or nerves with dangerous speed. A small increase in pressure inside this crowded region can rapidly affect breathing, circulation, speech, or neurological function, and when you finally see all the structures together, the complexity becomes overwhelming: arteries, veins, nerves, glands, lymphatics, airway structures, digestive pathways, muscles, vertebrae, spinal cord. All compressed into a narrow biological corridor smaller than your forearm. Every turn of your head depends on perfect coordination between all of them. Every word you speak, every breath you take, every heartbeat reaching your brain, every swallow, every movement, all happening simultaneously inside a space most people never think about. And that is what makes the human neck so extraordinary. It is not just connecting your head to your body, it is protecting nearly every system keeping you alive. Subscribe for more anatomy breakdowns.